Hey.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
This is Justin.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Are you ready to do the interview?
Yeah, just give me 1 minute, okay?
No problem.
Now, give me an overview. Explain what it's for. Is this like for an actual paper? Is it for an internet paper? Is it for...
Basically, I'm writing for the student newspaper of Berklee College of Music, which is actually based in Boston.
Oh, lovely.
And I graduated from there in May.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm still writing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I graduated from their music business management program. So
What's the name of their paper?
It's called The Groove.
Right, that's right. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. And so I've continued writing for them as an alumni since I moved here to New York.
Teaching all the newcomers, huh?
Well, I'm just trying to make it here in New York. You know, it's sort of a tough industry to begin with, and especially at this time, you know, it's quite a challenge. So I'm just glad to have the opportunity to keep writing for them because it keeps up my chops in that way. So, you know, I was doing a lot of research on your career, and you know...
You know more than I know.
Really?
Well, I mean, when I got that last email,
Uh-huh.
I was just like, I forgot I did that stuff.
Yeah. It's funny, I have one of the CDs on right now, the Shades of Love CD with Come Inside My Love. The song is actually on right now if you want to hear a little bit of it.
Ooh. I don't even know where you find this stuff. It's pretty amazing. The one copy I had gone to, I was working with the Crystals. Do you know the Crystals?
The 60s group?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And it was my first time going overseas, and we were in, where were we? Jamaica, Kingston.
Uh-huh.
At a hotel at the end of all the drama, you know. This was years ago. This was like when I was like 18.
Okay.
With all the drama going on in Kingston at the time, it was like trying to get through the town to get to the hotel was like...
Yeah, what was going on then? Because I don't really know, because I was like probably 2 or 3 years old then.
Kingston is sort of like the Harlem... It's the ghetto of Jamaica to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of people trying to make money and lots of... you know, everybody's got their stands and fruit and knickknacks, whatever it is they're selling. But you have to go through that main street to get to this so-called paradise, this little great hotel on the edge of the water.
Uh-huh.
So they always tell the people staying at the hotel, don't go into the main street. You know?
Yeah.
Of course, my ass went.
Yeah.
And I went.
You had to be defiant, right?
Well, I just figured they're black people, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, so...
I'm black, it's not like I'm going to stick out and someone's going to hit me in the head and, you know, steal my watch or something.
Right, right. I see what you're
So,
saying.
had a great time, came back to the hotel, and someone had stolen my radio with, like, all my tapes and stuff like that.
Oh, my God.
So all that stuff was, like, gone. I was like,
Yeah, just like that. It's gone. Wow. So what was that like performing over there?
really beautiful.
Yeah.
It was more stadium seating, sort of like on bleachers, like wooden bleachers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of fun. You know, it was like the development stages for me. It was just sort of like, I always liked singing background and was just glad to be doing it and getting paid.
Yeah. So, like, when did you know that you wanted to do that, to be a background vocalist?
Always, I think.
Really?
Always, like from kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you came to that determination, or is it...
Yeah, my mom was walking me to school. It was my first, I guess my first week at school.
Uh-huh.
And we would walk, I lived in Brooklyn, we'd walk down Myrtle Avenue.
Uh-huh.
It's called Murder Avenue. We walked down Myrtle Avenue, and my mom and my dad both, they sang, and they both played piano and stuff like that, so
yeah.
I was always kind of around music on a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember walking down the street, my mom was holding my hand, I'm looking down on the ground, and I see manuscript paper, and I don't know where this came from.
Yeah.
But it was manuscript paper. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that I had to pick this paper up.
Yeah.
I picked it
Just
up,
calling out to you.
and there were notes all over it. I just remember seeing it, but not knowing what it was at that age.
Yeah.
And I took it. I had words. I had to be in kindergarten. I knew it was words. I knew it was music, but I don't know why I knew that.
Wow.
Because I knew I couldn't read.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So you weren't even reading at that point.
No.
And you just, wow.
No, we were just starting like kindergarten. We were doing like ABCs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I knew something sort of inside. Anyway, so I took it to the teacher, and I asked her if I could sing this song for the class because I wrote this song.
Yeah.
Lion, And I just got in front of the class, I started singing, and she had to stop me because I wouldn't stop. But I liked the attention.
So you were a ham.
It was really, that's when I decided, I want to do this. This is what I like this.
Yeah. So what was your first professional gig?
Professional gig where I actually got paid?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess paid is the operative word.
Let me think. That I can remember, other than doing like little club dates in these little funky clubs in New York,
Uh-huh.
my first real like gig where I had to cross water was with the Crystals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was sort of a reunion group of the Crystals, right? By that point, I guess, or was
it was actually Dee Dee Kennebrew, who was one of the original members.
Okay.
She was one of the background singers.
Okay.
And she decided she wanted to keep touring, so she ended up hiring, young girls who, but Dee Dee definitely never sang lead at that stage in her career. She was like the background singer.
Oh, okay.
And then I guess after the group broke up, she decided, hey,
Huh.
I was an original, let me go ahead and
Yeah, definitely.
So she sings all the leads now,
So, was it always your intention to do backgrounds as opposed to lead, or
Yeah.
how did? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
when I was coming up in church, I never, all the singers who sang and belted out songs, I never sounded like that.
yeah,
I just was like, I had a good ear and I could figure out notes and had a good memory, so people could count on me to sing something and actually remember it the next day.
okay.
So they were like,
So-
okay, we keep her singing in the background. I loved it. For some reason, I like supporting people. It made sense to me.
And did you actually start studying music, or did you just do it by ear?
In the beginning, from, I guess from 2nd grade to 6th grade,
Uh-huh.
I was sort of just listening to records. Like my mom and dad had a collection of all the Motown songs.
Right.
And once they were all done with them, they would give the records to me. And then, those little like red tabs that you put in the middle of the 45s.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd be in my room in the summertime because I didn't really like going outside and playing with everybody because they wanted to beat you up all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what?
She found a safe.
Listen to my music,
Yeah.
So I would listen to that stuff, and I was more intrigued by the backgrounds. For some reason, I'd sit and I'd listen to each part, and I'd sing back each part, or I'd add parts, and that was kind of like my thing. It was
That's
like
awesome.
math with vocals, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I would listen to the leads, and I'd be affected by them, but I never, I'd sing a little bit of lead, but I wasn't really good at it. I was much better at singing background.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really thought about it.
It's definitely an art form.
Yeah.
I mean, I took a couple of background vocal labs at Berklee with Natalie Jackson.
Oh, really?
You know her?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And yeah, so she obviously, has been in it for a long time, so she was a real stickler for how she taught, and so it was definitely a good education,
Oh, yeah, that's good.
nailing down those harmonies right away. So, being a background singer, well, first of all, you've done so much in both live and studio work. Is there one of the two that you prefer?
I don't prefer one over the other.
Mm-hmm.
I love them both equally because I think I like the change. It's like I like being at home, but then I like being outdoors.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you don't prefer. Well, I guess some people do. For me, it's sort of equal. I need
Both.
to change so that I don't get bored with one or the other.
Yeah. And is one or the other... what are the ways in which each might be more challenging than the other? Because obviously each of them has unique challenges.
I think with the studio work for me, which is sort of... Well, I can't really say that. It was weird. When I first started, it was kind of equal. I would do live shows, like at clubs, and get paid like $30 a night, and then take a $25 cab ride home and come home with $5.
Yeah.
But it was like good training for me. We do like 5 sets. But that was difficult because the hours were long.
Uh-huh.
And
Like how long? Like 6 or 7 hour sets? Yeah.
You get to the club at 8 o'clock, you might leave at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, somebody's trying to call me, and I'll get that later.
Oh, okay.
You get home like 1 o'clock in the morning, which is why I'd have to take a cab, because where I lived, you couldn't be taking the train.
It wasn't safe, yeah.
So then, and you never knew who you were going to be with, you know what I mean?